Hi guys, it's your girl Bianca here, and we are back with another skateboarding learning video. Guys, last week I was so sick. Like after my birthday, I caught the meanest cold. Like it was so bad. Like I was down for the count, and I was like, man, I really want to go skating. I really want to go to the skate park. I was just itching, but like something told me just go home, just rest, lay down. So I just watched TV all weekend, just trying to get my body back good. So I'm good now. But I wanted to do a learning video today because if I'm not skating, I want to at least be learning about skating. If you're new here, my name is Bianca of Thinking Thoughts Art. I'm a 34-year-old beginner skater. I've been skating for about 3 months, 3.5 months, going to skate parks around the DMV area where I currently live. Okay, so if you like today's video and you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to get the algorithm on our side. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the first skateboarding term video. I'm gonna try not to be on this bad boy for too long. But I found this video, How Did Skate Tricks Get Their Names, by VLSKATE. I'll put VLSKATE's YouTube down in the description so you can go subscribe to their channel on your own.
Today we're going to be talking about skateboard trick name origins. Turns out trick names have some pretty interesting histories, so hopefully you'll learn something and have some fun. Up first we have the ollie. Pretty much everyone knows the origin of the name of this trick by now, but I had to add it just because of the importance of this trick in skateboarding.
Guys, if you've been following my channel, you know I've been working so hard to get my ollies down. I kind of think that I have like the standing ollie down. Now I'm working on moving ollie. If you have any comments or tips about how to do an ollie, please let me know in the comments because I need your help. So okay, so we're learning about this guy named Alan Gleefan. I think that's his name.
Back in the day, Alan Gelfand started doing some of the first no-handed aerials while skating pools.
So first ollie was in 1979 by this guy named Alan.
And because this was something that had never been done on a skateboard, he had the honor of having the trick named after him. And lucky for us, his nickname happened to be Ollie, which is why we call them Ollies rather than Allens.
Makes sense.
Of course, Rodney Mullen later went on to perfect flat ground ollie.
That made shorts. Hold on. That made shorts so
and this eventually led the way.
It kind of looked like one of those umbrellas with the different types of colors on top. Yeah, their shorts tight.
Way to modern skateboarding as we know it. And fun little fact, the nollie, which just stands for nose ollie, was also invented by Rodney Mullen, who actually originally started by doing nollie 360s and then later perfected them without the rotation. Up next.
Sweet. So okay, so nollie is when you're standing on the, let me get my board. So got my board back here. Nollie is if you're standing on the nose of your skateboard and not the tail. So this is the nose, this is the tail. You're standing on the nose and then you do a pop like up in the air like that. And ollie is the opposite when you're on the tail of the board and you pop up. So yeah, man. All right, so ollie, nollie, skateboarding terms. Let's keep it going.
Next, we have the no comply. So the standard no comply is when you take your front foot off while popping the board, and you basically just end up doing kind of a one-footed ollie foot plant.
Okay, no comply. When you pop the board up, you take one foot off and land it back down. I don't think I've tried that yet. I've got to try it. I got to try it. Maybe my next video.
This one was invented by the legend John Lucero. Instead of using his hand to grab the board and do a boneless, Lucero was stepping his front foot off, but pushing his board into a parking block in order to get it to pop the same way. And these ended up being the first no complies.
That's fire.
And it was actually Neil Blender who saw Lucero doing these, who said,
"Did that man just, hold on. Did that man just throw his board to the bush, and then it came back and he landed on it. Wait a minute. Ain't no way, dog. Hold on.
And it was actually Neil Blender who saw Lucero doing these, who
He
said,
did. That's so cool. Like, who thinks of that?
I don't understand. It's stupid. No comply. Coming up next, we have the big spin.
Big spin.
So a big spin is a pretty straightforward trick where your board does a 360 and your body does a 180 in the same direction.
That man got some air. You hear me? Oh my god. The the tallest my ledges are curves. Okay, very very low curves. But that man was high up in the air.
So this one's actually named after Brian Lottie. And while he didn't invent the trick, he certainly must have done it enough to have it named after him. And you may be wondering why we call it a big spin rather than a Brian spin or something weird like that. And that part actually comes down to his last name and the California lottery. So basically from the mid 80s to the early 2000s, the California lottery had a show called The Big Spin. And apparently someone thought Brian Lottie's last name sounded enough like lottery and they made the connection. For the next trick we have the boneless.
That makes sense. So that was the big spin. What did he basically do? Like a 360 in the air? Like a big 360 in the air?
So this one's relatively odd, so try and follow me on this one. The boneless was actually invented back in the day by a skater named Gary Scott Davis. Well, Gary's friend Robert had a sock puppet that he had named Harry the Boneless One.
Okay, guys, have you ever had a sock puppet? A sock puppet? Please let me know. If so, what was your sock puppet's name? Look at the little googly eyes. It reminds me of the sport from what is it from Toy Story? Hold on. The Toy Story. I think it's the latest one, maybe Toy Story 4. Does Toy Story get up that high? Hold on. I have to Google this. I gotta Google. Search tabs, new tab. Hold on, guys. Toy Story. Cause it's like my Disney Plus logo. Hold on. Toy Story 4, no. Forky. Forky is his name. Forky. Let's see. Y'all gotta see this man's googly eyes. It's like hold on, let me see. Share this tab instead. Look. Look at his little googly eyes. It's so funny. He the little girl got him from school and made him. So made him out of stuff in the trash. So when she got home, this fork was like trying to go to the trash. He always says, trash. Oh, it's so funny. Guys, please go watch Toy Story 5 if you haven't. It's really good. It's really good. Okay, let's go back.
And this was because he didn't have any bones and he needed your hand to come to life. Well, after Gary Scott David invented the trick, they ended up borrowing part of the sock puppet's name and it became known as the Boneless One. And eventually throughout the years, the name became shortened to just the Boneless. Up next, we have the manual. Now, I've actually heard a few origin stories for this one, but I'm going to stick with the one that has the most support and makes the most sense.
Guys, this is the one that if you haven't yet, go check out my short where I was trying to figure out how to do the manual. You guys left me some really, really good comments and tips on how to do this, which I really, really appreciate it. And I can't wait to implement that when I go skating again. But yeah, the manual is basically doing a wheelie on your skateboard. Back in the day, I had a dirt bike and I love doing wheelies all the time. My cousin Kenya actually did a wheelie into a bush and fell off the dirt bike with his hand still on the handlebar, and he ran into the bush again. Oh my gosh, we were so dangerous on a dirt bike. Nobody should have ever given us a dirt bike. But yeah, so manual is a wheelie on a skateboard.
So back in the day, Pat Noho would do this trick where he would come out of the ramp, do a wheelie across the deck, and then come back in. And then according to Lance Mountain, it was either John Lucero or Neil Blender who said, he's manually rolling out and manually rolling back in. And evidently this terminology must have stuck, and that's why we call riding on two wheels a manual. Now, the other origin I've heard for this is that it comes from BMX, where if you're doing a wheelie, you're actually pedaling, which helps you lift up the front wheel.
Oh, yeah.
But a manual is where you're manually having to balance without pedaling to help you. Up next, we have the melon grab.
Melon?
So the melon grab's name is actually a clever play on words, having to do with a certain type of hand plant called a sad plant.
Yeah, hold on.
For a sad...
Okay, sorry, we're back. I had to tend to my doggy.
Hand and then kind of tweak it out. Well, if you flip this upside down, put the skater in the air, and then flip the hand to the backside of the board, then you'd have a melon grab. And the name itself is actually just a shortened version of the word melancholy, which is just another word for sad, so you can see how it all ties together. And now for our last section, I'm going to go over a bunch of random tricks that are specifically named after certain skaters. The salad grind, which is basically just a crooked 5-0 where your front trucks are hanging over the ledge, was named after Eric Dressen, whose last name kind of sounds like dressing, as in salad dressing.
Valid, makes sense.
The Smith grind was invented by a skater named Mike Smith, who first did the trick. The Susky grind, which is similar to a salad grind, except instead of having your trucks over the ledge, they're off over the side, was named after Aaron Susky.
Susky.
The Bennett grind, which is a 180 to switch Smith, or a switch 180 to Smith, was named after Matt Bennett.
180. I know 180 is when you go, instead of doing 360, when you go in a full circle, you do it like a half, like you halfway.
Caballerials are a trick I've gone over the name of in a different video. But basically, they're fakey backside 360s, which were first done on vert by Steve Caballero. And if you take Caballero and mix it with aerial, then you get Caballerial. Succio grinds are named after Mark Succio, and they're basically alley-oop backside 180s to...
Okay, bro's getting very in-depth and intense with going through these tricks. But I have no idea what he's saying, so I am going to just look up a couple of terms that I know as a beginner, because now he's losing me. But if you're not a beginner and you really want to go watch the rest of this video, go to VLSKATE on the YouTubes and search how did skate tricks get their names, and go ahead and watch that bad boy. So what I did earlier today, I did kind of like a poll and asked people what tricks did they want me to cover in today's video. And my homie Matt, shout out to Matt, said kickflip. So let's look up a kickflip skateboarding terms and what that looks like, and maybe even how to do it. I'm like, I would love to get to a point where I am able to do a kickflip. But your girl gotta learn how to ollie.
Here are 4 reasons why you need to use the new
I gotta
app.
learn how to ollie first. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back.
How to kickflip. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to kickflip, and then I'm going to show you the most common mistakes people make when they're learning to kickflip and how to fix them.
That's a cool little intro.
The kickflip is the first of many popped flip tricks created by Rodney Mullen in the early 1980s. Not too long before he did the first kickflip, people had started to figure out...
I am loving these like older school videos. I love like the gradient and the filter on them, and what they have on with their dressing. Like that man's shorts was so fire. Like look at the shorts. It's like that khaki and blue. I think it's blue or black. But that's really dope.
Before he did the first kickflip,
look,
people had started to figure out how to ollie and get air by popping the tail of their board. Rodney was experimenting with getting higher ollies himself when he accidentally flipped the board, causing it to do a kickflip rotation. He had already been an incredible freestyle skater for many years before creating this trick, so
dang, bro, it's just floating.
He was able to figure out how to land it fairly easily. The kickflip seems to be the most popular trick in skateboarding, and seeing someone do a nice kickflip is probably the reason a lot of people get inspired to start skateboarding in the first place. So it's very common for new skaters to pick up a skateboard and try this trick without spending enough time getting comfortable on their board.
That's me. That's where I'm at.
It's important to understand that it takes some time to get a feel for your board and develop good balance. So before we get into exactly how to kickflip,
Yeah.
you should know that if you don't feel very stable when you're riding on your board, then this trick will be really difficult to learn.
Valid. Okay, so that is what a kickflip is. I'm pretty sure this person is going to go, yeah, beginner skateboard tricks tutorial. So they're going to go into exactly how you do a kickflip. So go to SKIDDY Skates if you want to learn how to do a kickflip. Seems like a pretty good YouTube, got a lot of subscribers as well. So shout out to Skiddy Skates. Skiddy Skates. So yeah, man, I don't want this video to go too long. I am gonna stop it right here. I am hopefully going to be able to skate this upcoming weekend because I'm feeling so much better. The weather's supposed to be nice on Saturday and Sunday, so hopefully I can go to the skate park on Sunday morning. So yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching today's video. You guys make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and click this playlist right here to watch the rest of my skateboarding videos and come along with this skateboarding journey with me. All right, guys, that's gonna be it. I love you guys.